Okay, this is the homework, and I did different problems for different classes, so I'll do all of them. All right, it's 3, 3. Count. How did I get that? I count. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3. Same thing. Count. 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can't count the diagonal. So that's the C. It's the longest length. It's the A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. This is the 90 degree. We'll just put that diagonal for D squared. 3 squared plus 3 squared equals to D squared. 9 plus 9 equals to D squared. 18 equals to D squared. The square root of 18. Let's see, calculator. Calculator. Here we go. Square root of 18. 4.2426. Nearest tenth. I think I want nearest hundredth. Nearest hundredth's like, right there. Don't want all that. That's because this is a 2. It stays a 24. 4.24. And this is 2D, so you got one pair, so D to the first. And this is D to the first. Oops. This is D squared, so it's D to the first. That's our answer right there. D to the first is 4.24. And it asks also for the perimeter. We got the missing side. Now we can add them all up. P equals 3 plus 3 plus 4.24. You add all of that up, you get 10.24. Same here. Okay, so first, find this missing side. I forgot to put the 90 degree here. Oops, not like that. It's 90 degrees. So 6 is A, 8 is B, and the missing diagonal is C. Diagonal is always the C, okay? So A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals to diagonal squared. 36 plus 64 equals to the diagonal squared. Again, diagonal is always C. 100 equals to D squared. Take the square root. The diagonal part of this triangle is 10. So this is 10. Now we can find perimeter. Perimeter equals 6 plus 8 plus 10. So 24 inches. This is 90 degrees. That's A, B, and this diagonal is C. A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. We need to find that diagonal side. Okay, so 12 squared plus 9 squared equals to diagonal squared. 144 plus 81 equals to diagonal squared. This is 225 equals diagonal squared. Take the square root. 15 is the diagonal. Find perimeter. Perimeter equals 9 plus 12 plus 25, which is 36 centimeters. Got to put centimeters here too. Remember to label your units. It's very important. Manuel is building a rectangular deck that needs a wooden diagonal support beam. Manuel's deck is 8 feet wide, so he's building a deck that needs a wooden support beam. Okay, in class I showed what a deck looked like. Okay, there we go. These are decks. Okay, and in a deck, this is a rectangular deck. That's 8 by 15 feet. Needs a wooden diagonal support beam. Diagonal, remember, this is diagonal part. 90 degrees, A and B. The diagonal support beam, that's the diagonal part, and that's where the beam goes. We'll put B for beam. Okay, this way you can lay wood like this and it won't fall through. Okay, that's what it means. Manuel had a wooden beam, so he has a wooden beam that is 16.5 feet long. So it's 16.5 feet long. So what's the problem situation? Okay, so problem situation is to see if this beam will work in here, right? Will the beam work? Will this 16.5 feet beam work? All right, let's find out. Let's do a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. 8 squared plus 15 squared equals to this here is the beam squared. 64 plus 225 equals to the beam squared. So that is 289 equals to the beam squared. Take the square root of that. So the beam, if you take the square root of this, needs to be 17 feet. So therefore, will this beam that Manuel bought work? Manuel's beam is too short. Is short by 16.5, no, short by 0.5 feet, right? So 6 inches is short, oh my goodness, is short by 0.5 feet. What does that mean? He needs to take the beam back and buy Manuel needs to return it and buy and buy one that's 17 feet or longer. If it's longer, you can always cut it. And buy a beam that's 17 feet or longer. That's what it means. Okay. Oh, this I did in the other class. You have to find area. Area is the dirt inside the fence. Perimeter is the outside part. That fence it. And I like to go back to this picture. Okay, the fence, and then there's dirt that you're protecting your home and land inside it. So the dirt and home inside it is this area inside. That's called area. See this area inside I'm talking about? And there's 6 squares there. The area is 6. Perimeter, count all the fence. Let's add them all up. Same here, you can still count. But hey, instead of making lines and little squares, we can do, to get the same thing, we can, because you'll get large like this, instead of doing area by little squares, it's impossible, especially if you're looking at your own land. So you do 3, count the 3 feet or whatever by 5, so 3 times 5 is 15. And you can count, it's 15. So for area, they put A, like that. Now, I don't expect you to make little squares. I don't expect you to make these little squares. Okay? That's in here. But I do expect you to show this step. But area is length times the width. So 12 times the 5, which is 60. And area, because they're little squares, it's always whatever unit squared. See, they're little square, right? That's why it has this square. Perimeter is just the outside. There's no square in it. Okay, so that's how you do these. Now, some of my classes, I decided that kids need to, one of my classes we did proving it's a right triangle, but they're all right triangles. Next time I'll put the direction up here so it's clear, or I will remember. I want you to find the area of a triangle and the perimeter for all of them. So, let's start with this one. This one is the same as this one, so you can cross. Okay, I'll do this one. Cross this one out. It's harder to see. Okay, so, or I guess we can do this one. Doesn't matter which one you do. Cross out the other ones. You can do 8. This is the 90-degree angle, so right there. Therefore, this is A and this is B, and the one that's not supporting the is C. A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. Okay. 10 squared plus 24 squared equals to C squared. 100 plus, I think, 580 something. Let me use the calculator. Clear. Where's the clear button? Right there. No, not the square root. 24 squared. Is it down here? No. I better do 24 times 24. 576 equals to C squared. And then you add these two together right here. 676 equals to C squared. Take the square root. 676. Oh yeah, we did that. Square root of that. 26, exactly. Why am I doing this? Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Wrong. I'm supposed to find perimeter and area only. Don't do Pythagorean theorem because all the numbers are here already. No numbers are missing. This Wilcox was wrong. Do not do Pythagorean theorem. All the numbers are here already. Perimeter equals 10 plus 24 plus 26. We get 34 plus 26 is 60 centimeters. That's the perimeter. Area of a triangle is the base times the height, or it can call length times the width. Length times the width. And because a triangle is half of a rectangle, okay, let me show you better. I'll explain it on the next one. Length times width, or base times height. Base times height divided by 2. So it's 10 times 24 divided by 2. So your answer for area is 120 centimeters squared. Because if we did little squares in here, we would count. If we did 24 as a rectangle by 10, there's 120 of them. Okay, that's what it means. All right, so this one, 2. Perimeter. That's the easy one. You add all the sides. 20 plus 25 plus 15. These two equals to 40. 40 plus 20 is another 60. Perimeter is 60 feet. That's just the outside part. Okay, to find area so you can understand better. This is a triangle is from a rectangle. And it's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. By 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's put another one, 12, 13, 14, and then let's say 15 all together. And then we're going to count. Only the ones that are inside here will count. All these little squares inside, if I made it perfect. To find how many little squares in this one, not in that one. So in order to do that, we do area is length times width, like a rectangle. Length times width, and sometimes they call it also the base times the height, because we're only counting half of it. We divide it by 2, the triangle part. Okay, so I hope you understand this more. Area equals to 15 times the 20 times the 20. We divide it by 2. We get 150 feet squared, because there's 150 little square in there to make that dirt. So now, to avoid doing that, we can say, okay, this is normally a rectangle. which is area is length times width right here, right? But we only want this part because we're fencing in this part only. See our fence, not over here. So that's half of it, so we divide it by 2. So perimeter is 16 plus 12 plus 20. You get 48 centimeters. So area equals to length times width. The two legs are the length and width. 16 times 12. I don't know that off my head, you guys. Okay. 16 times 12. 192 centimeters squared. Okay. Same thing, remember right here. That's the rectangle, right? And this whole thing. And we make 4 this way, that's easy. Oops, too little. Didn't divide it evenly. 1, 2. Okay, and then 20 this way. I don't know if it's 20. And then count all the little squares in here. Too difficult, right? So instead, we say, okay, here's the rectangle. But here's our land area. Area is land. We're going to fence first. We're going to put a fence in here like this. So we need to find our perimeter. 4 plus 20 to find how much fence we got. Plus 25. We got 49 is our fence. I don't know, 49 units. I forgot to put the units in here. Okay, and then we, after we do that, you do area of it, okay, because it's only half of a rectangle. Area equals length times width divided by 2, and they can also say base times height. Base times height divided by 2. Area equals to 4 times 20 divided by 2. Area then equals to 40. Whatever it is, unit squared. Okay, find the perimeter of these. We're almost done. Then round it to the nearest 10. Okay, find the perimeter. P equals. That means I'm fencing it in. 4 plus this. 7 plus, oops, I don't know. Because it's a right angle, I can do Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals to the diagonal part. C squared. This diagonal piece I need to know. Okay. 4 squared plus 7 squared equals to the diagonal side. 16 plus 49 equals to the diagonal side. That's 65 equals to diagonal side. Find the square root of d squared, which is d, which we want. Okay, equals to, well, the square root of 65. Square root of 65 is equal to 8.06. This is a 6, so this 0 goes up 1 to a 1. 8.1 inches. This is 8.1 inches. Now we can find the perimeter. Add it up, 11. This is 19.1 inches. That's the perimeter. Here. Oops, sorry. And this is what's there. Okay. And then here. Perimeter equals 3 plus 12 Oops, don't know what this is. One of the legs is missing because this leg and this leg makes the right angle. So that's A and that's B, right? So B is missing. We can put L for legs, but this is the diagonal. Let's see. A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. 3 squared plus one of the legs squared equals to 12 squared. 9 plus B squared equals to 144. Minus 9, 135 equals to B squared. Take the square root. Square root of 135. $11.6, and it's 6 stays the same because this number is a 1. 6 stays the same. 11.6 inches. So this is plus 11.6 inches. And now we can find the area, the perimeter, which is, we didn't ask for the area. Perimeter equals 23.6. That's it.